Hello, I'm Derek John Johnson. Today's video, I want to talk a little bit about the downfall of Dave Chappelle recently. And this really does hurt as a former fan of his. I absolutely loved the Chappelle show and a lot of his old stand-up material. Going back to it, it still holds the fuck up today. However, recently he's just kind of devolved into what I call stone toss humor. Those of you who do not know, stone toss humor is basically named after the comics artist Stone Toss. It's basically when you just say incredibly bigoted, mean-spirited shit that you mean in an attempt to hopefully get other people to agree with you while disguising it as a joke. In one of his most recent stand-up specials, he even said that he's Team Turf and complained about J.K. Rowling getting cancelled. Well, his exact statement was, "I agree, man, gender is a fact." This is still incredibly harmful and ignorant at best. Nobody's saying that gender is not a fact. What we're saying is that gender is more complex than the XX mean girl and the XY mean boy. Like, come on, man. In your old stuff, you were a lot better than this. I think a perfect example of why his old stuff works so well is Clayton Bigsby. While there are plenty of jokes packed into that one sketch, one of the main ones is that it's basically about a guy shows white supremacist a hero that is essentially a black man and exposes how stupid they are, as he literally can't see race. He literally doesn't know anything about race. He's just parroting a bunch of generic KKK shit because that's what he was led to believe in his life. And he doesn't even know that he's the inferior race he's actually talking about. Well, it's hard to explain the main reason the sketch works so well. You actually have to check it out for yourself. But, like, recently, his most recent work was just not funny. It was just him parroting bigoted talking points and shit from Reddit under the guise of a joke. While sure, when he does touch on issues of race, he actually does manage to still do it quite well. When he gets out of that, he basically shows how fucked up some of his views actually are. J.K. Rowling was not cancelled because she said that gender is real. The reason TERFs get in trouble isn't for saying gender is real. It's for using this misunderstanding of gender to severely hurt trans people and push a bunch of transphobic bullshit about how they're taking your kids and the trans people are trying to destroy biological womanhood. No, we're fucking not. J.K. Rowling literally said that allowing transphobic bullshit about how allowing biological men, which is basically a TERF dog whistle for trans women and cis men, would hurt real women because they'd obviously take advantage of the real woman, which rarely ever happens. And here's the thing: if a dude wants to go into a woman's restroom and take advantage of women, he's gonna fucking do it whether you allow him to or not. And basically she started whining about getting canceled when people called her out on her bullshit. Oh, she's also a believer in the Jews. Bullshit. But on to the main point. Dave Chappelle recently has basically just stepped away from everything that made him great in the first place. The reason his edgy humor worked so well in like around 2003 in those eras is because he wasn't punching down. He wasn't making fun of black people or gay people or women or any of those other things. He was making fun of the ridiculous racial stereotypes by taking them to their logical extreme, as well as the racists themselves. The reason it doesn't work now is because he stopped putting in the effort to actually make funny jokes. He started just saying bigoted bullshit and then basically crying when people don't like that he's just being a bigoted asshole. Which steps away from how one of the only ways you can actually make edgy humor work is by punching up, by going after unfair standards, by going after bigotry and all that other bad jazz. Look, Dave Chappelle, I know you're not going to see this, but here's the thing. Quit it with this shit. Go back to what made you actually good in the first place. Stick on the things you actually know about. That's a video for Dave. Bye.